Hello everyone, and welcome to another live stream. Different day because I normally end up having to do them on Sundays, but for once I actually have a Saturday free where we're not working. So here I am. Welcome Pressure Pythons, Esther and Crystal, and anyone else who's joining just now. Today's going to be a little bit more informal. I have a couple of sort of things to talk about, pre-prepared topics, but mostly it'll just be chatting. And as you may notice, I'm in the bedroom. It's been a disrupted day because there was like some meeting for the people like who live in this block, and it annoyed the birds and all sorts. So I thought it'd be easiest to do it in here. And I bet you, because I'm in here, they're going to be really quiet, but we'll wait and see. As usual, though, I will have Pickles and Scampy out and about, probably not training in here, although maybe. And Olive will probably join me as well. The boys probably won't join me today, purely because it's going to be a bit logistically annoying. So here we go. We've got our stand in the background for them to snack on, so I can keep an eye on them. But yeah, I hope everyone who is tuning in is doing well and having a good time. And yeah, let's start talking about stuff. So I've had a few questions whether Chip's doing all right on community and the like. And yeah, Chip's doing fine now. He's regrown his wing feathers. He's back to normal, flying around and being mischievous and cheeky. It is really nice to see him back to basically how he should be, the naughty cockatiel. Him and Fish have been really keen to explore the floor recently and running around. And there's some noise. There's Char starting up already in the background. Yes, it's been running around the floor with Fish, and it's been really cool just to see them exploring again and back to their normal selves. We're doing some training as well, like tidying up and stuff, and they're having lots of fun. Welcome, Alice White. Yeah, it's a very good video, eye-pinning. It's really important as well, just to be aware of what eye-pinning means, because if you've got a species that does it, all parrots do, but one you can actually see it visibly, it can help you a lot in reading their behaviour and moods. Welcome, Iris, as well. What else has been going on? As you can hear, Charlie's been quite noisy recently. We're not sure if it's because he's getting slightly more hormonal, but he has been a lot more noisy than normal, and we're kind of trying to work out exactly why and if there's anything we can do about it, because it has been a theme. Normally during lives, by the way, that isn't anything special. That's just them being noisy, because they always are. But yeah, Charlie especially has been extra noisy recently. What a cheeky little monster. Other sort of thing that's happened current event-wise is me and Sophie went to a bug show. It was our first bug show, and it was quite fun last weekend. We'd never been to one, and we really enjoyed ourselves. It was just nice talking to lots of different people and seeing bugs and picking up some bugs, which I won't talk about too much, because I know some of you guys may not be the keenest on invertebrates. But yeah, we had a really good time with basically just seeing loads of bugs and talking about stuff. We also had a really nice burger afterwards. We were absolutely starving. We'd not eaten all day, so maybe that impacted how it tasted. And then they said it was going to take ages to arrive, but when it did, I got this huge tower burger, and so we got ourselves chicken burgers, and it was really, really tasty. So topic-wise, I'm going to talk about what's coming up, because there's a few things in the pipeline for courses, for on the channel, for all sorts of things. I've got a couple of mini topics because I've seen a few TikToks recently that have been a bit exasperating. And I've got a couple of pre-prepared questions that people have asked. I told them I'd feature on this live for them. Pressure Pythons, we do too. We love them. Not everyone does. We are big fans of them. You might be able to sort of see a sneak peek of, well, you can see some right close in the background. We really love them. And anyone towards the end of the live who wants to stick around, I can give you a brief sort of look at them, where we've got them set up. You can see them, maybe see some of the other bits we have in our bedroom. Very exciting, I know. But if you're interested in seeing the inverts, I'll do it right at the end. And we can see my Lego as well, because I love my Lego, despite being a full-grown adult. So yeah, so that's what's been going on. The flock are generally doing well. Charlie's been noisy. Chip and Fish are back to normal, and we went to a bug show. Sophie, do you want to bring Olive in so she can say hello? And so Olive's going to come in for a while, because it's something a bit different for her coming in here for a live. I may let her sit on my sleeves, it's maybe more comfortable for her. I've got some treats here as well if she wants them. Is she coming? Yeah, because I can't exactly just get up and go round and then leave you just staring at a blank wall. So I had to get Sophie to do it for me. She's been doing well as well. She's been very cheeky and naughty. She's been enjoying her cuddles. We've been trying to get her out separately for time with me as well, because Charlie takes a lot of attention. He loves his training, so he demands it. You come in.
Oh, she's going to say hello.
I think she's a bit nervous. She's probably really happy. She's happy if she just comes on in.
Hi everyone, I can barely hear you in the other room, and I can't put the sound on. So.
You should bring my mobile so I actually speak to you. It's difficult to type on here. You excited? You excited? What's going on? What's going on? think she's just like currently staring at the ceiling light.
Oh, yeah, we don't like that light, do we?
No, it'd be way too dark.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
She hates
dear.
that light.
Oh, dear.
Maybe not a good idea then.
It's fine. Let's see how we get on, shall we?
Of all of our conures, Olive is the most sensitive to light. We're not sure why, but she really is very reactive to bright lights, especially if she hasn't been desensitized them. For example, in the living room, she's used to that one now. She's used to the little lamps and stuff. But when it comes to main lights,
I think this one has a tiny flicker.
well, this one's older as well.
Yeah.
We need to replace the bulb.
She's so brave, isn't she?
It's another reason I'm using my sleeved hand, because if she gets spooked, it's going to be a lot easier for her.
She is so
Say hello to everyone.
Hello,
And wave.
everybody. So
And
I
shake.
had my nails trimmed today because I was so brave.
Yeah, you are very clever. She's one of the best for having her nails trimmed as well. She's just so sort of like smart of it and so like relaxed. It's going to be chaos again, isn't it? She is. She's such a sweet little one. And also, she's used to being with Charlie, apart from in the other room when she gets some cuddles from me. I don't think it's going to work.
Okay.
I can just tell from her body language she's not happy.
Let's go with me then.
Given how everything's been going today as well,
Come here, sweet
she's
girl.
not going to be happy. I was hoping to have her in so you can just sit with me and relax. It's just something different, but I
Shall
don't
I
think it's
get
going to be
Pickle and
happy.
Scampi then?
Yeah, pop them in. They're always in here. Hello, Singapore, welcome. So yeah, it didn't go so well. I was hoping Olive could just sit on my shoulder or sit on my arm, but I could just tell from my body language she was agitated. I think she never comes in here when we've got the light on, so that idea goes down the toilet proverbially. So we'll bring Pickles and Scampi in. They're going to probably be happy in here, just scrambling around. They love just running around the bed. They like peeking in the drawers, although we try to limit how much they get to do that, because obviously it could be a hormonal trigger. Excuse me, I've got some treats with me as well if they want that. And I've got the mini stand in the background, so they can sit on there if they get bored. If they get really bored, I'll just ask Sophie to come in. And I've got some topics to talk about in a moment. They come in. You guys don't care. I don't need to put my sleeve up for you, do I?
No.
So used to being in this room, aren't you? Hello. Hello, everyone. You don't want to go on there. Do you want to go on my head? Where do you want? Do you want to say hello? Where do you want to go? What do you want? What do you want, little man? You just want to sit on me and pachow me? Just pachow me. So you look like you want to go down there. You want to look. Pickles is quite funny in that she loves to explore, but she just likes me holding her somewhere. She likes to explore from my hand rather than actually getting off and exploring. What do you want? I never thought I'd be able to do that with him, and him to just accept it so willingly, just getting kissed on the wing. It's just adorable. Right, do you want to go there? You do. Where do you want to go? You want? Oh, she spotted my juice. That's why. She spotted my juice in the background. And this is fresh squeezed juice. It's not just like random rubbish. So I will never give that to them. That's what you're getting. Hello, Parrots and Wheels. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. You are going to be naughty, aren't you? Okay, well, let's start talking about topics then. If you're going to be naughty, you can decide what you want to do. Okay, whatever. I want to get on with it. Otherwise, yeah. So what's coming up as well? Because we've got a few things coming up. I was talking about doing a course on behavioural analysis and functional assessment, which is like trainer jargon for analysing behaviour and a certain way you can do it to make it effective. I finally managed to start on that course and it is going really well. So I will be scheduling it as a live course. So I'll be presenting it live and also as one you can download later. Obviously, if you're a patron, you get a discount. If you're a top tier patron like Parrots on Wheels, you get it for free. Just to say thank you. So that will be coming up, and I'm hoping to have that course available soon to buy, and it will actually be done at the start of November. So do keep your eyes peeled for that. It'll be hopefully well worth you attending it because it's going to be very useful if you have any sort of problem, even if you don't, just to help you guide you on how to analyze parrot behavior problems and to learn how to sort of like work through them in a very structured manner because it is tried and tested. It is used by some of the top minds in the parrot training world and animal training world in general. And it's something that me and Sophie often, what do you want? Why do you run to the other side of the bed and start airing at me? You're not going under it. It's something we use as well. It's very useful. Yes, Alice, hopefully it'll be lots of fun. I mean, the great thing is I'm designing it on Canva as well, rather than using old programs. I want to use something more modern, so it will look a bit better. I'll have embedded videos I hope to do some sort of like live exercises during the live version of it, where you'll see a video and then we can analyze it together. Then obviously the usual Q&A. So that's coming up. So I hope that's going to be lots of fun and lots of you will be able to attend. I don't even know what on earth I've written. Oh, yeah. So I'm going to have an article published as well in the flyer, just like Sophie. I did one on free operant environments for parrots. So when that comes out, I'll obviously make a bit of a hoo-ha over that. And what else have we got? Oh, yeah. So I know there's not many of you in this live, but to those of you who are, I've done another Mr. Bird video. If you're not familiar with Mr. Bird, it's like my parody videos where I just act silly and take the mick out of the parrot world and the sillinesses I observe in it. So I've got another Mr. Bird video filmed and I'll pop that up soon. If you haven't seen Mr. Bird before, maybe watch the playlist just so you know what you're getting into. But I went to extra effort to make it as absurd as I possibly could. It is absolutely crazy. What are you doing over there? She's like hanging off the edge of the bed and like peering down. Oh, goodness, these birdies. It's also, yeah, so on as a Patreon exclusive, I will have Mr. Bird outtakes, so I know you guys like those as well. It's not a very long series of outtakes, only a couple of minutes, but I know you guys enjoy them, so hopefully that will be worth your while too. And finally, on coming up on what's going on, I have filmed a new series of videos for YouTube where I will be going over core skills. So all of those core skills that I feel are important to parrots. She distracted me in the background, scumbling around. Like we'll be going over stepping up again, we'll be going over the recall, stationing, targeting, going back in a cage, foraging, tips for general success, just to refresh people's memories and also give me a playlist I can refer people to when they're like, oh, I don't know how to make my first step up or whatever. So there'll be a core skills series coming out soon as well. So hopefully you guys can enjoy that. Thank you, Parrots on Wheels. I mean, we have quite a lot of fun filming them as well. When I'm filming them, I'm like, these are quite funny. Then when I start looking at them, I'm like, oh, I don't know how funny these are. You know, when I edit it together, then I start feeling more confident that it's actually like silly enough and funny enough that people may enjoy it. So I'm hoping these latest ones will be popular as well. I just try to be as absurd as possible and also let some of my angst out, because obviously when you do the sort of work we do and we do influencer stuff, there's some things that annoy you over time. So it's a great way of getting that out in a non-like toxic way. If you want a nut, you can have one. But you have to wait for me on camera first. You have to spin for me as well. Good boy. So yeah, it's a great way of like getting through stuff and just processing stuff that you find annoying. So you'll find some silly skits on there and some little bonuses. Look at this little cutie. Do you not just find it how cute that way conures hold their food? They have this little grasping hand and they hold it very so gently and take little bits out of it. It's just really clever as well to see the manipulation they do and the way they like turn things in their hands. You are adorable, aren't you? He loves his walnut. This is what he's getting, a piece of walnut, because he hasn't eaten a lot today because he decided to tip one of his bowls, the cheeky little monster. Is that really tasty? Is that really tasty, little man? Oh, what good boy you are. So as it's really quiet today, I think this I'm not even going to bother asking for questions. If any of you do have questions, please feel free to shoot them. But I don't think there's actually that many of you here, so I'm probably not going to go on for very long. So yeah, what I'll do is I'll talk about my topics. I will do my questions, and then we'll just see how things go, and I'll wrap it up early. So obviously it's always really busy here, and I try to make the time for these lives, but obviously you're not always going to get a massive attendance. But of all of you guys who have attended, I really do appreciate the fact that you've actually come along and joined me for this. It's really important for me to be able to connect to you guys, and it's just really nice to be able to say hello to everyone. Me too, Alice White. I mean, it's just absolutely adorable. I really do love you. You want a drink, don't you? That's why. Okay, you can have a little bit more. Yeah, I absolutely love it when they hold food in their hands. It's just cute. Larger parrots, all parrots that do it, I find adorable. I don't know why. It's just them using their hands, but it's absolutely so cute. Listen, little man, if you want this, you're going to have to do something for it. It's going to be off camera, but you can go down there and you can do that. You can wave at me. Fish and Chip are very good. Like Chip waves with his feet. Fish likes to manipulate things with his feet. It's just really cool seeing. I did a video ages ago on like training your bird to use their feet, because there are things you can do to encourage it. It's not guaranteed, but it is really nice how you can encourage them to do it, and you can see them do it more and more. So just as a quick couple of topics as well, while we're sort of talking about stuff. I had a few comments recently, and then none of them sort of like derogatory or anything, but people were like surprised about my choices video that I put out, like giving parrots choices. And like that not many people talk about it. And I find that really surprising. I don't know if it's because we talk about it a lot amongst ourselves, and I've done it through courses and talked to other trainers about it. But I honestly can't believe that. Do you want to come down? Is that why? I can't believe that giving your parrot a choice in their lives and what they do is so alien as a concept. It seems like an obvious thing to me when I think about, giving choices to any animal is going to improve their welfare, because it's going to allow them to sort of choose what they want to do. It's going to allow them to exercise their mental capacities. It's going to allow them to basically feel more free in an already coercive environment. Like, some people argue the opposite, like saying, oh, well, they shouldn't be in this environment at all. And to an extent, that's true. But then I often liken it to dogs, cats, humans as well. We don't live in our natural environment. This isn't natural for us. This is just what we've societally evolved to do. If we were living naturally, we'd be out in the wilderness, just like all the other animals. We all live in a world that limits our choices, and that's where I think people need to stop hanging up on that bit, and they need to start hanging up on where we can offer choices, be it in the zoo, be it in our houses, be it out in the wild when we've got animals with bird feeders, and in our gardens. It's just so important, isn't it? So important to give our birds as many choices as possible. Are you talking about, sorry, Pressure Pythons, are you talking about our courses or courses in general, and on what topics? And Adara, thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Thank you. There's no real need, because you already sort of like support us. Let me try and like this. So I have a question. When the birds are yelling at me in the morning and I give them breakfast, is that considered reinforcement? Should I wait till they aren't yelling at me? Generally, yes, but that's with the usual but. Normally, birds will just scream in the morning for their noise. That's for their breakfast, so for their noise. They'll scream, they're excited, it's all very exciting, they're expecting it. So what you can do, rather than sort of maybe like saying, I'm not going to reinforce that, you can wait for a pause, then bring them their breakfast. You can change the timing slightly, maybe do it slightly earlier, maybe do it slightly later, just to break those associations a little bit and make things a little bit more unpredictable for them. It doesn't have to vary by much, but give it a small variance and you may see some changes, and they may yell a little bit less. If they're always doing it, then do sort of like consider maybe changing things up. But yeah, I'll just try and wait for a moment of quiet to give them the bowls, or distract them with something else possibly as well. Or yeah, just literally change up the routine a little bit. That normally helps. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be much of a naughty train today, Alice, but it's just really nice. It's nice for the dog to do that. Parrots on wheels. Any living entities should have choices as much as possible. So yeah, choice is a primary reinforcer. And if you don't know what a primary reinforcer that is, primary reinforcer is what people in the training world refer to as things that we need. We need choices. We need food. We need water. We need somewhere to rest. These are things that are fundamentals to the welfare standards of our lives. So every creature should have that. And it's funny because I had a similar compliment on my Invertebrate channel, that I was encouraging enrichment for invertebrates. And for me, that's, again, it's like, why would you not? Yes, they may have limited mental capacities, but then hello again. You can see how even invertebrates can prove their intelligence and ability to learn. And providing enrichment for invertebrates is so much easier than for these guys. So why would you not do it? Every animal deserves a choice, be it the simple choice of, I want to hide under this rock, or I want to climb this ornament, or if I want to have a complex choice between a really big foraging toy or a really big foraging toy, or going back in my cage or whatever. Choices. So important. Yeah, so Pressure Pythons on our website, those are pre-recorded. We'll also have the live one go up. That'll be obviously for a limited time. I'll only have a set amount of places for that. But generally, it depends if we do 2 slots or not. If we do 2 slots, it doesn't fill up. If it's 1, then it can get booked out. But if you miss out on it, you can always just watch the playback. Where are you going, little man? You just want to climb around on me, don't you? This guy is so cute. He does have his moments, but he's really cute these days. You're welcome, Adara. I can hear myself echoing in the background because Sophie's got me on in the other room. It's a bit disconcerting. So yeah, the choices thing like wrong-footed me a little bit. I was like, come on, choice is such an obvious thing for me. Yeah, so this is I don't. Oh, what a naughty boy, Charlie, cheeky little monster. They don't know what it is with keyboards. Like, I've got a normal keyboard, and they just don't do it. But on laptop keyboards, they're straight at it. I'm surprised these guys haven't attempted it yet. So yeah, I try not to whinge on these lives anymore, or as much on Discord, because it's just not really, you're not there to listen to me complain about stuff. There's channels for people complaining, but I've seen a lot more parrot influencers and to a lesser extent invert influencers cherry picking facts and studies again, and it really makes me facepalm when I see it. I've ranted a little bit about this on Discord, but when you see people cherry picking facts to support specious arguments and arguments that just spurious, they're just not really going anywhere, it's just annoying because they're not helping anyone. They're probably doing it for an agenda, like to get people to pay them money, and it doesn't help the community, it doesn't help anyone. There are studies out there are facts out there that you can look at, but when people say, oh, there's a whole study that says if you feed, just take for example, if you feed a pellet to a parrot, then they're going to get like 90% of their vitamins, but they may have trouble with their digestion. Okay. And then someone will just take that study and be like, right, I'm going to focus on the bit about their nutritional value. I want to ignore the bit about their digestion entirely, or vice versa if they want to slam pellets. And it's like, you've got to take the whole study. You can't just take which bits you fancy. That's not science. That's just, I don't know, that's just selfishness in my mind. And it really is very frustrating. And yes, it's hard for people. People, like, it really does harm the community because people don't know what they're looking for and what information they need to find. This is your last drinky from here. Look at these little monsters. I dilute this very heavily as well because I knew they'd be like this. But yeah, when you, again, I'm sorry if this is a repetitive thing for this live, but when you are looking for information, look for studies properly. You better be getting funny there. I'm afraid that's not acceptable. Make sure you verify your facts. Make sure you try and read the original study before you believe what everyone says, and go for different sources. Why are parrots so attracted to laptop keys? I think they're just satisfying to like destroy it. Like when we do certain things, like those ASMR toys, or whether they make popping sounds. Maybe for them it's the same. Thank you, Pressure Pie, for watching. That's why we do it. It can be very. Oh, sorry, I read that. Sorry. Do you think it's okay to crush pellets and sprinkle them and chop? Of course, it's fine. We routinely do that with our what's it called, tops. We sometimes crush it. We save the powder, sprinkle it over their chop, and they get that as well. Completely fine. I've actually got a question, sort of picked question that someone's asked about pellets, which I wanted to sort of answer later. Adara, cherry picking facts only means they want to peddle information to their audience and get them to pay them for advice. And that is often the case of it. And that's what I find even more irritating. And also, I found it in other sciences and other academic fields as well. This isn't unique to animals. It was happening in history. It was happening in English. People will just cherry pick whatever suits them, especially when it comes to historical data. They'll do a study on, like, I don't know, 18th century women in English countryside, which is something I actually read in the past. And then they'll look at the facts about how some of these women were mistreated by men historically. And then they will completely ignore the way that in some ways in the rural setting, things were more equal because all of those stupid church rules and stuff just weren't there. And it was frustrating then. So yeah, anyway, I digress. So parrots on wheels. My wee one goes for a screen surround on my laptop. Very cheeky. Parrots on wheels. Very cheeky. Very naughty. Charlie House. Oh wow, they're going for competitions on who can destroy the most of them. So Laura Hull, would you recommend Harrison's as a brand for pellets? I'd probably abstain from that. I don't think they're the worst, but would I recommend them? I can't really say, honestly. I don't want to get in any trouble. But yeah, we recommend Tops as our top one. If you want to feed Harrison's in moderation, I don't see any problem with that, which is kind of leads on to my question. I might as well answer it now. So someone asked me, do our birds eat pellets at all? And I kind of already answered that. Yes, they get some tops, but we feed pellets in the kind of reverse to what pellet manufacturers recommend. We feed pellets as about 10-20% rather than 80 to 90 as pellet manufacturers recommend. Why do we do this? Because we believe that you can provide really great nutrition for your birds by just giving them lots of diversity, lots of fresh stuff, lots of different things, lots of dry stuff, loads of different things to cover all your bases and make things just more like accessible and digestible for them, honestly. Having pellets as part of that is completely fine. We don't see anything necessarily wrong, even with some of the slightly worse pellets. As a small proportion, as a treat, it's okay. It's when one thing is a predominant part of the diet, and the other downside to just feeding pellets is it's kind of boring. Where are you off to? You want to go up there? It's kind of boring. It's not very enriching. You've got one type of food. It's not giving them choice. just got a bowl full of brown or a bowl full of, I don't know, green. It's not giving them choice. You want choice, you want excitement. And that takes us full circle to the whole choice argument, which I argued in my article as well, that food is part of that choice and why it's so important. Where are you off to? Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? You just want to sit on my shoulder. Do you want a reward for that? Because you're really good. You're so gentle. So yeah, that's why I thought think about pellets. I think if you want to do Harrison's, just do them with moderation, honestly. Tops, we're slightly happier with them purely because of the way they're manufactured. And also, if you want to find out more about our opinions on pellets and what we have discussed with other people, watch my small parrot myths video, watch a myth busting video, and watch my all about pellets with Jason Crean videos. Those will give you our sort of stance on pellets. We're trying not to come down too hardcore on it because there are other people out there who are like no dry or no vegetables or no pellets or no seed. And again, we find those extremes don't really help our birds, and they're not really very practical for a lot of you guys who just keep them. Yeah, exactly. As Sophie said, it's moisture rich, the diet. You know, you don't want it to be too moisture rich, but it's diverse. They will eat dry, they'll eat moisture stuff. For example, these conures will eat some fruits, they'll eat seeds, they'll eat some dry bits. Our cockatiels will eat grains, as a lot of people argue. They do eat them, but they'll also eat sprouts, they'll also eat bugs, they'll also eat bits of vegetable, whatever they can get access to. It's really important to provide that diversity in our minds. So Alice Y, my conure was fed Supreme colour pellets before. He doesn't like any other brand, and I've tried numerous types. She doesn't get any pellets these days. That's completely fine. I mean, pellets aren't essential. You can just feed other stuff. You know, it's up to you. And again, we try to just talk about reinforcement. We try to give our clients and people who watch us choice. We don't tell you absolutely not. Rah, 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 rah. We'll advise you, and we may feel strongly about things, but we're not going to tell you what to do. It's not our place. We're not your bosses. We are people who are out there trying to improve welfare for parrots. So you can take and leave our information as and when you want. You can just discard it if you want to. I mean, yeah, we do tend to do that. Just get a bag and then keep it airtight and just serve it occasionally. So Pressure Pythons, how often do you give your birds seed? I know it's more of a treat, so I'm not sure when and how much to offer. She loves it, but of course she does. So our parrots actually get seeds daily. They get training treats through seeds. They get it in foraging. Some of the lower value seeds and grains, they get as part of their dry mix. And in their dry mix, it's a very small proportion. The problem again with seed is it got a really bad rep because that's all that would be fed. Nothing but seeds, just all seeds, nothing else. And of course, that's no good. But some seed in moderation, even daily, is completely fine. You know, it's good for them. It has essential fats. It's got omega-3s, which you can also get from nuts. It's got other trace elements. You dirty beast. That's the first time you've ever done that, I think. Did you go? Was that just a seed? If that was what I thought it was, that's the first time she's ever actually gone toilet on me for absolutely like months. Naughty beast. I think it's okay. I don't think it is. What have we got here? Oh yeah. So the other question I had before we can just respond to what people are chatting to in the chat is, do the birds like the bugs? That's something I asked. So I actually had the question both on my Instagram and also had it on the Parrot Teacher recently. And the birds generally do like the bugs. The boys don't really come in here very much, but Kipling, we joke that they're Kipling's pets because he likes to like stare at them, go on top of their enclosures and like look at them all the time. These guys love just going up to the enclosures and staring at them. Scampy will often just want to sit on my hand and just look at the bugs. Pickles is curious. Olive's curious. Charlie's a little bit more indifferent because he's just treat motivated. He just wants treats and play all the time. But yeah, the birds do like the bugs. I'm not sure the bugs like the birds, but then they are safely behind a thick layer of acrylic. So as long as we just don't let them like disturb them too much, you know, if they start antagonizing them, then we'll like move the birds away. But yeah, they do like them. Righty. That brings me to the end of my topic. So if anyone, basically Kipling is the chief bug zookeeper. And yeah, feel free to shoot any more questions or just chat or topics. I'm happy to chat for a little while. Otherwise, I probably will wrap things up in I don't know, 10, 20 minutes. So Christian, I just got a new female cockatiel. I'm feeding it and taking good care of it. But when I try to approach her and get her trust, she just attacks and tries to bite me. So under what circumstances are you approaching her, Christian, as well? How are you approaching her? How old is the cockatiel as well? And also, don't think it's really early days. You've only just got this cockatiel. There's no surprise she's a bit nervous if she's just come into your house. She's like, oh my goodness, this person's here. I don't know this person. It's really terrifying. Sometimes you have to build up trust, and it can take a little while. Every bird is an individual. Some birds will learn to trust you very quickly. Others will basically like take ages, and it also depends on their background, their circumstances. So a little bit more information, maybe I can help. Otherwise, I do have cockatiel bonding videos, and I recommend taking these very slow, letting her settle in, and just maybe just trying to feed her through the bars with high value treats, and try and be just nice that way. Alice, thank you. You are amazing as well. It's just very very grateful for your support. Thank you. And it's always nice to see your likes on Patreon as well, because you're one of the first normally to like my videos on the Patreon. So I'm like, oh, okay, Alice has watched it. Adara, yeah, sometimes it does take that long, a month or longer. It's definitely take it nice and slow. So Christian, I'm approaching her calmly eye level or from below so she can see me, and I can try to give her snacks by my hand. That's not in her normal diet. So that's good. That's a good approach, Christian. Are you trying to do it through the bars maybe? If you're not, that's what I'd recommend. You basically just extend your arm as long as you can, and you just hold it there like some butter millet. Just wait and wait to see if she'll take it. Let her come to you. Again, that choice. Let her have the choice to come to you, and that will be much more reinforcing and stronger. If that is still difficult, we recommend something called a treat bowl, and it's a lot of trainers recommend this as a first step. Just pop a bowl in her cage, and don't put your food in it, and then make it somewhere easily accessible, and just walk up to the cage, pop a high value treat in there like a butter millet, and walk away, and just keep doing that like a couple of times a day. Eventually, your bird will link you popping. She'll basically be expecting, like wanting you to come over, because she'll know the treat's coming. So then you can just keep popping them in, and then she'll start coming. She'll be expecting. She'll be making that choice to come to you, and then you can try giving her a treat through the bars, and then you can take it a bit slower. And it may go quite quickly if you use this method. For some people, it sort of accelerates after a certain point. Once the bird makes the association, oh, this person isn't hurting me, this person is just moving away after giving me high value stuff, they're like, oh, that's really cool. So they start sort of like getting much more trusting much more quickly. No guarantees though. I'll look over the courses, so if I'm getting ahead of myself, let me know. But I'm confused as to what for use training treats and how much to give them when we train. I don't want to give too much or use anything too fatty and unhealthy. So I have, treat hierarchy video. And also, if you want to watch a course, nutritional enrichment course, that's a great one to watch. We talk about a lot of these topics there. But the treat hierarchy test is really important. As for proportions, just try it. Say, for example, using a sunflower, so you split it in half. Try it and make those high value treats go a bit further. Yeah, treat hierarchy test. What a great resource for people. Where are we? Yeah, Dara. Yeah, very true. It doesn't have to always be seeds though, depending on the parrot. Conyers love their juices, as you can see. Passive bonding, Parrotson was absolutely right. Just sitting near your bird and just doing your own thing. And Christian as well, when you go to another room, she calls for you because she already is starting to see you as part of the flock. She's just unsure how to interact with you. She's worried, it's like a mixed emotion. She wants to be near you because she knows maybe humans are okay. But she's also, when you get too close, she's like, I don't want it. And also, don't forget, when she's in her cage, that's like her safe space. So if you get too close or you invade that safe space, then she's going to get funny. If you're near, that's comfortable for her. It's like personal space for us humans. The more personal space we give another human, the better, until they're comfortable. Then we can slowly get closer and closer to them, become acquaintances, friends, maybe even relationships, depending on what your goal is and that person. So it's the same with our parrots. Obviously, you don't want a relationship with your parrot unless it's a friendly one, but it's the same concept. It's a personal space bubble. Teal friend, it took me 2 weeks of just sitting next to my female cockatiel cage and talking quietly before she would then approach a long piece of millet. It can take that long. But when you do get that trust and you do take that time, it's really, really rewarding for you because you've earned that bird's trust. You haven't forced anything. You haven't pushed them. You haven't pushed them to learn helplessness. That bird wants to be around you, and that is great. You should be, just not you specifically, Christian, but anyone should be proud when it gets to that point that you've achieved that through cooperative means, because that means you are basically an amateur bird trainer at that point, and you can say that to people. No worries, Christian. I hope you find the advice useful. And yeah, passive bonding is just so useful. It's something a lot of people do intuitively, and they're not even aware of it. But yeah, so useful. Another dude, we picked up a new cage and have had it for a month. Our conure has gone in it, but at what point should we decide to completely move them in? So if you're doing trials, that's great. That's a great way of easing them into it. If they're happy sort of being there for a while, then move them in, see how it goes. Maybe do a longer trial. The pivotal point's going to be that first night. That's normally the most stressful time. It's the same when you're bonding two birds. That first night, when they get over that, they start to settle in more. If you can have the cage in the same location as their old one, that will help them settle in. Maybe use the same old toys, same perch positioning, just so it's not too jarring for them. Adara, my bond with Juno is the strongest bond I've ever had with any bird because I approached it slow and steady. She trusts me and I trust her. It's amazing. Exactly. It's the same with the cockatiels and these guys. Scampy, when he first came, preferred Sophie massively, and he would just bite me constantly. And look at him now. I mean, he like nibbles me occasionally, but it's never really out of like aggression. It's just like he's telling me off a little bit, or maybe he's just uncomfortable or scared. It's just that was through just taking my time and earning that trust and working with them. Teal friends, best experience when they come to me volunteering and put their head down for squishes. Yeah, it is adorable when a parrot asks for pets. Even this one is starting to accept it a little bit more. I kind of use Pickles as a training tool for him. So she loves cuddling on me. She loves sitting on me. She loves relaxing. So I will sort of like give Pickles a little kiss, and he'll come over and start preening with her. Then I will just thrust my nose in occasionally, taking a bit of a risk, and he'll accept pets that way because we're all preening together as part of the flock. And that's something I've been using to my advantage with Pickles is affection for me. You will pressure pythons again. Just take your time, and it's just really a waiting game. Some birds it takes ages. Some birds you kind of just have to accept that the relationship may not get to a really really loving one, but as long as they have a great quality of life and you can interact with them, it's not too bad. Adara, do you not ask for scritches all on her own? Didn't have to train babe. She's how she batters out with Horus for scritches. The scritches combat. The boys are the same. Chip is so demanding for his scritches, always wants it. And if Fish gets too close, he gets annoyed. So Chip normally sits on my right hand and Fish sits up there. So I'll pet Chip, then I'll do Fish, and then Chip will get angry and start going hissing at him. So I have to keep on alternating between them to make sure both of them get their pets, and I make sure none of them get stressed about it. But Chip is so demanding for his pets. What a cheeky little monster. Pressure Pipes, don't know much of the history of my bird, but I know she was surrendered to a local pet store. We've come a long way. She hopefully will. And also, you don't know the history, and that she could have had a really traumatic past. You don't know. So the fact that she's with you now is really awesome, and she's gonna have a great time. That's quite a long time, but yeah, it is so rewarding after that long bit of work. I'm just hoping I get there again with Kipling, because obviously, if you're on Patreon or even on my normal community posts, the relationship with him degraded a little bit. I'm not sure why, due to his very traumatic past and all the difficulties he's had. And I want to get there again with him. With Charlie, it's a reasonable relationship, but I want to improve that as well. And I want to get to that point, like I've been with all the other birds, where I'm like, wow, it may have taken a while, but the marathon was much better than doing the sprint, and I'm so proud of it. Yeah, he does. It's quite cute with Kipling recently. We have I do the bedtime routine for the birds, and he used to get very excitable about it, but now you can tell he actively wants pets through those bars again. He wants that. He's really keen for it, because normally he'll say gooey and then he'll put his head through. But you can tell when he's doing it for treats, because he'll say good, good, or good, good, good over and over again, and start like trying to nibble your finger. But if he just holds his head and starts shutting his eye, he wants his pets. And he's been doing that a lot more often. Same with Charlie, really, been working on the training. He's so awesome with his training. It's just the overstimulation around me. And I think, again, I mentioned this on Discord and through videos as well. How sometimes, positive reinforcement is like the go-to. It's one of the best methods. But if you create too much expectation all the time, that can be bad for you, especially if it's paired with the bird getting overstimulated and overexcited. So if you're constantly rewarding them, even if you don't mean to, when they're excited, that can pair it with that. So I'm having to be a bit more mindful of when I treat him and how I treat him during training now. So often I'll get Sophie to start the session with Charlie, then I'll take over, because he'll be more in training mood. So I'm not accidentally reinforcing him getting overexcited around me. I did a whole video for Patreon about accidental reinforcement, which will be coming out soonish. We just put up one up in barriers. But yeah, if you're on Patreon, do check that out when it comes out, because I think it's a really important topic again, and one that's not talked about enough. I feel like I've just been talking non-stop for 5 minutes, barely taking a breath. And Scampy's now growling on. Okay, I made a mistake getting a drink. He was growling on my shoulder, like resting with his foot tucked. I think you could see. Pickles is going back to relaxing. Scampy's like, "Are you going to bring that drink back over?" So parrots and wills, Albert will not do squishes at all. He's 4. Sometimes they just choose not to want touch. And that's completely true. Sometimes your parrot will not want to be touched for whatever reason. And it's just like with humans, they have their preferences. So much goes into their learning history, so much goes into their behavior and personalities. It creates this very unique personality. And some of them just aren't happy being touched. You can overcome it to a degree. Obviously, I would always recommend trying to overcome it to the point of essential husbandry, but you don't have to scratch your parrot. It's like with the spoods on the other channel. A lot of people seem to think you have to handle them. You don't. You can just admire them, enjoy them. Yeah, Dara, you can do. Discord's always good. It's quite fun. Yeah, and Louis doesn't like his scritches. Yeah, he doesn't mind being touched because we trained him to allow being touched for husbandry, but yeah, he doesn't really like being petted. He gets it from Kipling. Yeah, we do love our Discord. It's just a nice. We try to make it a nice, safe place so people can raise their concerns, talk to people, express any sort of worries that we can all respond to. Rather than a lot of people go to Facebook and they get these really toxic replies and people are very judgmental. We just try to leave that at the door on there. Yeah, it's not uncommon, Alice, at all, especially around cockatiels. I've noticed they just do not want it as much. Do you want to go on my arm? Or are you happy on my shoulder? You happy on my shoulder? Okay. Oh, he's sleepy little. And this is really rewarding for these guys. I'm talking full volume. Conures are normally really overstimulated by loud noises. They're completely relaxed and they're quite happy. Just took a lot of training work. I'm really proud of it. So, does anyone have any other questions or any topics they'd like to bring up? But if you guys have any topics you'd like to discuss, I'm happy to sort of like go over it as well. Yes, Jupiter and Sage don't want pets from Adara. Sage will accept kisses, and some of the budgies will let me kisses, but no pets. It's the same with Scrombler as well. Like will accept a little bit of nose rubbing from me. He'll accept kisses from me, but he doesn't like prolonged contact. Whereas from Sophie, he likes to nuzzle under her nose or a chin. For me, that's a no-go. And it does come to their preferences on people as well. He's happy to have a little bit of attention from me, but he wants it in a different way from me than he does from Sophie. And I find it kind of cute as well that he has his own unique way of showing attention to me as he does to Sophie. 100% Sherry. So Sherry says, I find that speaking to my conures and budgies in a calm and gentle voice, they seem receptive. The tone, the words are kind of irrelevant. You can say whatever you want to them. You can swear at them if you want to in whispers. Maybe not swearing, but but it's the tone and the gentle voice. It is soothing. They are receptive to it. They do pick up on those tones and it helps calm them down. A lot of parrots enjoy it and they even growl to each other. So we're mimicking that. Oh, yes, Sadara. Yes, sorry, I will do that. If I give it another 5 minutes or so, just in case anything people want to talk about, then I'll do a little pan through the bugs. And if anyone's uncomfortable seeing bugs, they can sort of leave beforehand. And I'll show off my Lego. So if you're uncomfortable with bugs, wait until 50, the 50 mark on the timer, or that'll be 20 past. If you're okay with them, stay till after that, and then we'll scan through. So Alice, well, I've noticed that in footage of wild parrots, conures are often all squeezed up together, whereas most cockatiels stand apart from each other. Yeah. So you see that with fish and chip, you see that a lot of cockatiels, they want to be close to each other, but they don't want to be right next to each other. That tends to only happen with bonded pairs, male-female pairs. They will cuddle up. With cockatiels, they want to be in big flocks. They need that proximity, but they don't want that close personal contact. But as Alice just rightly mentioned, with these guys, they will cuddle up together in the wild. They will all cuddle up in a big row of fluffy conures, and they value that social contact in a very different way. So the species will play a massive part in it. That is right, Sherry. Darn right. Parrots and wills. How do you know when a bonding relationship isn't working anymore? How exactly do you mean, Parrots and wills? A bonding relationship between you or a bonding between two birds? How exactly do you mean? Teal friend, any tips on keeping beaks trimmed naturally? Toys, lots of shreddable toys, including easily shreddable toys, especially for small parrots. A mixture of hard and soft woods for them to destroy. You can encourage it as well and almost train it as well. And oh yeah, Sophie's got a really good video as well. That's generally the easiest way. Otherwise, obviously, you have to take work in yourself. But generally, it's just encouraging them to bite and destroy things. Yeah, fish and chips sat at the back of the chair. So Adara, yeah, lots of chewing and shreddable toys, perches that have bark on them. Yes, like we've been getting these cork bark perches. They're an absolute nightmare to clean, but my goodness, do the birds love destroying them. And you can see how much joy they get out of shredding them. And I'm quite sure it's doing good for their beaks as well. We've never actually had to have a beak trim for any of these birds. We've done a quite good job on that. I'm glad. Obviously, we have to manually trim their nails occasionally because while we do sort of like try and encourage them to, yeah, it's terrible, Adara. While we try and encourage them to grip things on perches, it's not foolproof. So we have to do some nail trimming. We try to do it voluntarily where possible. Very occasionally, we'll have to do a catch up, but we try to avoid it because it's just not good for our trust. Another dude, we were thinking about getting our conure a mate. Something I was worried about was that our conure may see my wife as his mate. How would we know if he sees either of us as a mate? Hormonal behavior around you, constantly regurgitating around you, being really aggy if someone else approaches that person, posturing, constantly mating behaviors, naughty behaviors on body parts, that sort of thing. And obviously, you really do have to consider getting another bird because it may not work out. You may have to do loads of bonding work between those birds. You may have to be prepared for having to have them separate for a long time and just work on tolerance for ages. There's a lot of things that go into getting another bird, and I really like it when it works really well. Like occasionally for people, you'll get a bird and they'll bond instantly, and it's really great. But a lot of the time, it's the middle ground or it's hatred. It starts with hatred and you can build up to great, or it's a middle ground where you have to do a bit of bonding work. So be aware for that. Another dude, we don't pet him anywhere inappropriate and try and discourage any frisky behavior. So, sorry, I wasn't trying to imply that you're doing stuff to cause it, but I'm just saying those are the sort of things you look out for if a bird is successfully bonded to something. Yeah, he loves frapping my laptop, doesn't he, Mr. Fish? What a cheeky monster. Same with Chip and Fish, Parrots and Wills. And you've done a better job with India and Alba because Chip and Fish, they came together. They're clutch mates. Was India and Alba, you sort of brought them together and did the bonding work like we did with Pickles and Scampi here. I'm sorry, Scampi, I didn't mean to wave that in your face. Doesn't like me waving things in his face. So yeah, bonding is an interesting topic. It can be difficult. Parrots and Wills, okie dokie, feel free. Yeah, message me, drop it on Discord. Obviously, when you message me as well, me and Sophie generally look at stuff together if it's something that we want to give advice out for as well, just so you get both our opinions as well, so to help you out a little bit. But yeah, let us know. We're happy to talk about it. He's tucked his little foot up again. What a cute little man. What a little monster. Yeah, typical siblings, Adara. They have to be, again, like I think Alice described, they have to be close to each other. But at the same time, if they get too close to each other, it's like handbags at dawn. It's not allowed. It's a very funny relationship. And especially funny when they're on me. What they have to like explore together with me. They use me as like an instigator to go exploring because I'm part of the flock too. It's just very, very cute. He's a very cute little man. Such a fluffy boy. Sometimes when Pickle's a little bit mean to him on the bed, he comes and sits on my hand and he just watches from there. Like he has a little break from play with her when she gets a bit boisterous. He just sits on my hand, fluffs up and tucks his foot up, which is cute. So Sherry Godbury, is allowing your bird to sit on your head and nestle with your hair a promoter of bonding? I find my conure loves to cuddle against my ear and cheek. He's gentle and won't bite me. We don't have any issues with birds sitting on heads or cuddling. Most of the time with cuddling, it tends to be when it's fully enclosed or repetitive motions. A lot of conures, like we described in the wild, will cuddle their flock mates. Like a lot of time, Pickles like to cuddle in my eye socket or against my neck. This time, most of the time, she prefers to sit up there now because I think it's warmer with my ever fading hair. So yeah, she likes to sit up there. There's nothing wrong with it at all. Obviously, if you see some aberrant behaviors you're not happy with, then you can maybe take a break from it or look at how you're doing it. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. Yep, she's the boss. Pickles is the boss lady. But he does. He's quite a gentle soul. He has his moments, but Scampi is a soft little monster. He's like one of those guys that gives it all a big mouth, but behind he's a really soft little guy, and you can see it from his behaviour. He's just a cheeky. He reminds me of a cheeky teenager, basically. That's how I describe him. He was just stretching her wing on my head. Does that mean you want to come down, or are you happy up there? Oh. Sneezing. You want to stay up there? That's fine. So another dude. The questions are fine, by the way, because obviously we've got you. At the moment I move my hand, she's like, I want to come down. Where do you want? You can say hello. Daft beast. Right. So another dude. Last question on the bonding. Does a big age difference matter when choosing a mate? So age differences can matter. You will see slightly different behaviours from younger birds to older birds. It's not a massive factor, but I would be wrong in saying it's not a factor at all. Honestly, it is part of it. You can overcome it, but obviously similar ages are slightly more ideal. I mean, we're talking about within a couple of years, so it doesn't have to be really similar. Within a couple of years of each other is generally best, but we've seen relationship work with 10-year age gap and like, so it's up to you really. Adara, at the top of my head, is everyone's favourite landing spot. Oh, Scampy. He's trying to cuddle back of my neck and he has to go in a second. So I'm going to give you the room tour. Oh, little man. So what I'm going to do before I give the room tour, I'll get Sophie to collect these two little monsters, just so it's a little bit easier for me, because otherwise they'll be wanting to explore everywhere. Pickles is desperate to say hello to everyone, absolutely like itching to get to that camera. Oh, wow. Konya Cam. Get to see her mouth and her tail. Wow. Sophie. She's coming. You get to see Pickles. Come here. You little monster. I'm so glad I trained her to take that voluntary sort of like grab, because this would be a nightmare, this little cheeky monster. So yeah, these guys are going to go. If you're not interested in seeing any bugs or seeing Lego, then now's the time to leave the stream. He's so excited. See you later, monsters. Whoa. Yeah, Pickles is absolutely adorable. She's so sassy, though. What a little monster. Yeah, our Parrotson was 1 year is completely fine. Righty. I haven't got tissue, so I can't clean up that mess. I'll do that later. So yeah, let's have a little look at the bugs, shall we? Let's try and take you around the bugs. So let's pick this up and try and actually see it, so I can see what I'm showing you and what not. This is Sophie's side, and on here, this is Shelob at the top. She doesn't normally live there. She lives where I'm actually currently live streaming. And underneath, we have Diego and we have Stella. Stella's in the top corner. Diego's currently climbing the walls. These aren't their full-size enclosures just yet. They'll be getting bigger ones. Hello again. So take you over to see the other bugs as well. What a lovely view. How exciting dynamic cam. So this is my pride and joy. Sophie got this to me as a very generous gift quite some time ago. I've only just got around to finishing it after probably almost a year. That's Lego Rivendell, because me and Sophie are big Lord of the Rings fans, so I was very excited to build that. And then this is all the more bugs basically. So in front we've got our teeny and tiny, our semi-culpris mini spiders. We have our baby, our Arzonesis, who's actually eating a little fly right now, and very cute. We have a glass mantis who's actually like see-through blue, and we have a flower mantis as well. And behind there, we have a couple more jumping spiders who are currently hiding. You won't see them. And then a giant dead leaf mantis. Let me put light on just in case you can't see them. I really should do this on my Spooderpod channels alive. You guys are getting like a sneak preview. I haven't shown anyone this. Let me move this little fly catchy thing. All right, let's put another light on here so you can see. Then we have Tank, who he's an ancient jumping spider now. He's well over a year old. I'm so proud of him. He's such an amazing little spood. Then we have Zero. She's really cool. We have Midnight as a new jumping spider. Then we have teeny tiny Astro, who is a versicolor. She's actually a tarantula, so she's going to get much bigger. She's adorable. I'll just turn around so I can see what you guys are saying. We haven't, Adara. I'd love to see them. So what else? Have you guys sent pics? No, we haven't. I haven't sort of spoiled them yet. I will spoil them. Yeah, the glass one's like crazy. He's like so fast. So anyway, the next level we have. Why am I forgetting? No, sorry. We have our mini sort of velvet spiders there. We have Petal, the orchid mantis, who's still not fully grown. Her enclosure needs a revamp. That's why it looks a bit tired at the moment. We had to remove some stuff because it just wasn't looking very nice. Then we have Curly, another curly head tarantula. We have Boo, who's a ghost mantis. You probably won't see him very well, but he's really impressive. We've got Sprinkles behind who you can't see. We've got Ember behind who you can't see. And I can't actually believe I've forgotten the name of this spider. Sophie, what's the name of the spider? She's like, I don't know what's going on. What are you saying? What's the name of this spood at the back?
What, Azul?
Azul, that's it. Blimey. I can't even remember the name of all the spiders. We've got so many now. Azul is another tarantula, not fully grown. Here we have isopods. Loads of isopods there. And then just anime stuff, because despite my age, I've always been an anime fan. I will show them Barrador in a second. So let's have another look at the other side before I finish this tour and wrap things up for the next 5 minutes. We have more isopods, because these guys don't really like it very bright, so I try to keep them in darker areas. We've got magic potions, we've got Klugies, we've got all sorts. And then Barrador, which I'm currently working on now. I saved up quite a while, and Sophie helped me out of it to get it. But yeah, I'm very impressed with it. Look, let me show you on how excited the door. If you can see, the doors actually open and shut when you turn a little thing. And it's got orcs and stuff inside it. How cool is that? So there you go. There's my little nerdy tour of the room, because no one ever gets to see the bugs. Righty. What's wrong?
You asked me to come in.
Oh yeah, sorry. Right, so I'm going to wrap this up. I may as well stay to the hour mark, because I've kept this long. I always expected when we started this stream I'll be off half an hour ago, but when you get me talking, it's just blah 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 blah. If you've just joined us, welcome. I talked a few topics. I let people know what's coming up. I also talked about that we've got Mr. Bird coming up. Do watch the Mr. Bird playlist if you want not to be completely shocked about how stupid it is. And there we go. So, chicken and waffles. The pineapple conure that I found is a girl. Your video on body language helped me so much. She will take millet from my hand. Now it's only been. I'm glad it's helped, and I'm glad you obviously are doing things right with this little one as well. Because I think you were on Sophie's stream as well, and I know you've been trying very hard with them. It's just nice that they found a nice place with you, and that you're doing really well with them. I like green cheek conures are kind of my jam. Cockatiels and green cheek conures, I'd almost call myself a specialist in, because I know a lot about them. I really like them, and I seem to be very good at reading them. I'm not so good at crimson, sadly, but when it comes to green cheeks, I'm very good with them. I'd be good at budgies as well. I'd love to make budgie content, but I don't have any, and I only want to use first-hand footage, so that's a little bit annoying. Room for bugs, even though that's running out very quickly, but no room for birds, sadly, because it'd be bad for them. Parrots and wolves, I want some. Maybe just to get a jumping spider or some isopods. They're not too intimidating. They're not very scary. Maybe a lot of people find, excuse me, a lot of people find tarantulas and stuff scary, but like isopods and jumping spiders are really cute. A lot of times on Spoodopods, like people say they've watched my content or they come to my channel because they wanted to get jumping spider, and that's helped overcome their fear, because you don't have to handle them. They're really easy for maintenance. You know, the live food's obviously a pain, but even that you kind of get used to. And if you get the right sorts, doesn't take much room or smell or anything. Well, thank you. I'm glad you guys enjoyed that little tour. I don't get to show them off very often. I will be doing a Spoodopods live at some point, which some people have been asking for on there, because that channel's actually taken off, not very fast, but it's actually got its own little mini fan base. Oh, that was really something I was proud of. I might as well mention it. So when we were at this show, someone actually recognized me from the channel. It's only got like 1,000 odd subscribers, but someone actually recognized me from my channel. It's like, oh, it's you. Oh yeah, you helped me overcome my fear of spiders. I was like, yay, isn't that exciting? I was not expecting that at all, to be honest, because with just 1,000 subs, and most of them probably from America, I was like, wow, means I'm actually getting somewhere on there. But yeah, I was really proud. They do deserve, everything deserves to be loved, and they're all smart. Jumping spiders are incredibly intelligent and incredibly cute and characterful. They all have their own little personalities and little traits. Obviously not as complex as a parrot, but you can see like individual traits in them. Like some will gravitate towards certain areas, some will be slower at hunting, some will be just more relaxed. But anyway, this is a parrot channel. I'll start talking about bugs. I'll start talking about them for ages. If anyone has any last minute questions, now is the time. I am happy to help. But otherwise, I'm going to wrap this up in the next couple of minutes, because I've burned through my topics. I've been on here. You've seen my nerdy stuff. You've seen my tour. There's not much else I have to say. You're so lucky, Adara, to have the wild ones and be able to just look, because they have like eyes in the back of their heads, literally, and the eyes they have in the back of their heads are motion sensitive. So when they see you, they'll be like, oh, there's motion there, and then they'll bring their like telescopic eyes at the front to look at you, so they can focus on you and see what you actually are. Chicken and waffles. Yes, I think I've watched 30 videos between the two of you, and also wish I could send you some big Philips Audax. Oh, we've got Zero is an Audax. She's a bold jumping spider. I love the Audaxes. I think my favourite ones are the mini ones. They're my favourites. Then I love the Regis and I love the Audax. They're all very, very cute. It's so lucky that you guys get them in the wild, because I wouldn't have to keep them. I could just go out in my garden and be like, you can tell I'm talking too much and for too long. Excuse me. I'm glad it's right at the end of the live. Yeah, I'll be out in my garden just watching them. I wouldn't even keep them as pets. I'd just be like looking at them because they're so adorable. Pressure Pipe's just got like heart eyes as well. And I've noticed the chaos in the other room has settled down a little bit. I heard some sort of background shouting and play. So I think the boys are out. I think Charlie was out with Olive because Olive was a bit scared in here. And they were playing, and now it's all gone quiet. And I think occasionally I might do lives in here because that wasn't too bad. Pickles and Scampi just end up chilling on my shoulder. And I think maybe we'll try again with Olive in the future because it is a bit easier and it's a little bit less disruptive because they've got into the routine now. Every time me and Sophie do a live, it's like part of their thing. Maybe I can break that expectation. Is it cuddle time? Oh, that's very cute. I do love cuddle time. I think when, like we were talking about trust with birds earlier, like when your bird trusts you enough to cuddle you, that's really rewarding and really reinforcing. I absolutely love it. When Pickles ask me for a cuddle, when the boys bow, when Olive like literally makes a choice to run it into my hand so she can cuddle next to it. One day maybe for Louis, Charlie, and Kipling. But even with Kipling, petting him through the bars. That's another thing that's really interesting about Charlie as well, actually. Charlie, especially with Sophie, loves to sit and interact and like cuddle, tuck his foot up. Even with me, he likes to be near me when things calm down, just be near. But he doesn't like being petted at all. He's not being cuddled. And it's a great example of individual personalities. For his previous parrot parents, he would accept some squishes and pets. But for us, we haven't earned that trust yet. He's not into it yet. So we will maybe have to build it up, or maybe it's just not what he wants to do with us. And I think it's really important to keep in mind. But anyway, thank you all for joining me. It's been a pleasure to talk to you. I never imagined I'd be on for so long, but yeah, it's been a pleasure. And thank you very much for supporting the channel and being here. It really is important to me. It's important to Sophie, and I had lots of fun talking to you. So until the next time, take care, everyone, and see you later. Bye-bye.